Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is just after 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Robert Fatstacks Malone, Rough Ruffman, Xander Maxwell the third because the fourth got shot.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know. It is Thursday, March the 12th, 2020. And today I want to begin the process, well, unofficially. I've talked about this before on the channel, but I think it's really important that we start talking about it now on more of a regular basis. So get used to it. We'll be talking about It's Me, Billy, on a semi-regular basis here on the show, especially because Bruce and I are getting ready to hopefully launch our campaign next month. And that is the goal anyway. Our Indiegogo campaign next month. And I wanted to, today I wanted to talk about this production that we are involved in, because not a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people know about it, but there are still people that don't know about it because it's been in development for, well, the last 6 or 7 months or so, maybe even a bit longer. I announced it last summer. And when things are in development, it's usually pretty quiet, right? I mean, whether you're dealing with a major Hollywood film, which this is not, or you are dealing with an independent film, which this is, when things are in development, things are sort of kind of quiet because there's a shitload of work being done, but it's all behind the scenes and trying to get ready, hopefully moving towards that pre-production stage. And what am I talking about? I am talking about the Black Christmas fan film I am in very late development on, moving towards pre-production, hopefully this spring. And our Indiegogo campaign launches next month, hopefully. Okay, so let's talk a bit about this. Why Black Christmas? Well, first of all, let me say this. This is not just any fan film. I mean, this is not like the fan films I've done in the past, which are experimental. You know, I put my own money into it, and well, I mean, most of them were just point and shoot and away you go. I didn't have to put any cash into it. But the last Halloween fan film I did, I put a bit of money into it in terms of the cost, and of course it upped the production value a bit. But those were just fun. I mean, those were experimental, fun, shooting with your friends, having a good time. And this is different. It's a whole new level. Working in the entertainment industry and knowing people who work in the entertainment industry and having access to certain resources like we do, we want to be able to take advantage of that. And knowing certain people like we do, we want to be able to take advantage of that. And I say we because I'm talking about my best friend and producing partner and co-writer and co-director of It's Me, Billy, Bruce Dale. I've known Bruce for almost 30 years. He's going to be on the show next week, by the way. You're definitely going to want to tune into that. We'll be talking movies. We'll be talking It's Me, Billy, specifically, because there's a lot of things that we'll be able to talk about together as the producing team behind this film. But we wanted to do a Black Christmas fan film and, a legit independent film in terms of the production value, in terms of the execution, the acting, everything, a legit film. And I was inspired by, as we all have been, by Vincent DeSantis' Never Hike Alone. That was the fan film that raised the bar for what fan films could be. And the production value is stellar. The execution is fantastic. It's a fan film by category, but when you watch the movie, you're watching a movie. I mean, you're watching a legit movie. Yes, it's a fan film, but it's a movie, right? And that's what we're doing with It's Me, Billy. And we want to be able to raise the bar as well and deliver something that not only horror fans can be proud of, but Black Christmas fans can be very proud of as well. And we can be proud of as well because we are big Black Christmas fans, because Black Christmas, the original from 1974, is a Canadian movie shot right here in Toronto. And as two Canadians living in Toronto, I was born here, by the way. we were inspired to sort of make a fan tribute film to that movie. And it is, we've written the script. The script is done. We are happy with it. There's always some minor tweaks here and there that take place, of course, but we are very happy with it where it is. And we are going to, it's funny because when you're writing it, so many different ideas come to your mind of what to do, and you have to sort of temper certain things because it's very easy to write a script like this and have it blow up into a feature film. And this is a short film. It's Me, Billy is a short film. We've written it in a way where we want to be able to this. It's Me, Billy is an unofficial sequel. It's a non-for-profit fan film, of course, purely fan fiction, but it is a sequel to the original Black Christmas, something we've never had, something we, admittedly don't need. I mean, it's one of the most iconic endings in the history of horror, period. We don't need it. But it's always fun to speculate, what if, right? And that's what this is. And this is because obviously the remake in 2006 was not a sequel. And then the movie that just came out from Blumhouse this past Christmas was obviously not a sequel. It was a reimagining, reinvention of the entire thing. And we wanted to do a direct sequel set about 45, 50 years later and take it from there. And so we are really excited about it. But we can't do it alone, which is why we are launching an Indiegogo campaign next month. And we don't know what the production budget will be yet. We are still in the process of narrowing that down to a specific number. But I can tell you that it will probably be in the ballpark of between $40,000 to $50,000. And then you may say, oh my God, 40 to 50, what the hell is? Well, I mean, that's what movies cost. Even short films cost that much. And that's not a lot of money. Okay, I mean, I know it might sound like a lot of money, but it's really not a lot of money at all when you factor in locations, production equipment, insurance, rentals, all that kind of stuff. Perks, of course, because we have to, send out the perks, shipping, all that kind of stuff, get the perks made if there's certain things that need to be made and ordered and all that kind of stuff, for the campaign. Obviously, part of that goes towards the perks as well. So, the reality is that if we want to be able to deliver like I said, a movie that is a movie that's really, really good. And you guys can be proud of it. But we can't, if we only raise, let's say, and I say only, it's still a lot of money, but if we were to only raise, say, $10,000, we probably won't be able to do the movie. I mean, as a matter of fact, I can guarantee you we won't be able to do the movie, at least not the whole thing. I mean, maybe we can shoot a scene, but that's about it. Because you can't make a $40,000 picture on a $10,000 budget. So the Indiegogo campaign is imperative. We're also going to be doing other things as well. We'll be doing It's Me Billy-a-thons here on the channel where we might go for a live feed of 8 hours or something and we take nothing but super chat questions and everything raised from those a-thons will go right into the production. We may have a link set up as well, a donation link as well, because sometimes people will want to be able to they've donated to the campaign and maybe they've done it a couple of times, but they're like, well, I really don't want, another perk. I mean, I've already got, that coming and that coming and that coming. Can I just, I've got, $10. I just want to donate it to the thing. We may have that set up as well. And there's other avenues that we are approaching too. So we are really excited about it. And, but like I said, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. And one of the things that we decided to do to help with the authenticity of this project and to get you guys excited about what could be, of course, is we wanted to utilize the resources that we have at hand and at our disposal here in Toronto. And one of the things we decided to do was we wanted to cast our lead actors before the campaign was launched. Now, I did receive a question from somebody, and it's a good question, because the question was, well, hang on a sec, if you don't have the production budget yet, why are you casting? And it's a great question, right? You wouldn't necessarily do that at the Hollywood level. At the independent level, when you're going the Indiegogo campaign route, you can do it several ways. You can do it that way. You can raise the money first and then go out and do your, casting and all that kind of jazz. But you can also put together a team in place that everybody is understood here that this is going to become a reality if we can raise the money. But you want to get the team in place first because, especially for a campaign, it can really help potential donors and, you guys to really see that we're dead serious about this. We're not fooling around. And we have everybody locked, loaded, ready to go. We just need the money. And that's important because, then you can see, oh, so there are the actors, there's some of the crew, there's this, there's that, right? And that's really important. A lot of campaigns do that. They will have everybody in place so you can see everybody, and it really helps sort of give some context and some authenticity to the project. So one of the people that we wanted to secure first and foremost, which we thought was really, really important, was our director of photography. Because Bruce and I are we've written it, we are co-producing it, and we are directing it, but we didn't want to shoot it, not at this level. And we wanted to hire somebody that we can work with, that can help to execute our vision and bring their own stamp and style to the project as well. And I had shortlisted a few DPs, which is short for Director of Photography. It's DP in the States. Sometimes here in Canada, you'll hear it referred to as DOP. But nonetheless, I had shortlisted a few DPs. And unbeknownst to me, I had shortlisted a man by the name of Greg Bennett, who goes by Gregory Bennett on his website. And Bruce actually knows him. They know each other. They've known each other for about, not close, but they used to work together on a couple of lifestyle shows here in Toronto. And I didn't know that. So when I was showing Bruce the short list that I had created, he was at the top of the list because I really liked his portfolio. And I said to Bruce, well, here's the guy I think we should look at first. He's like, oh, Greg Bennett. I know who that is. I know Greg Bennett. He's great. He's fantastic. He's great to work with. And one of the great things the reason why we reached out to him first was not just because Bruce knew him and has experience with him, but one of the things that Bruce said, Greg, if you're watching, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but, and Bruce, if you're watching, I don't know if they are. But one of the things that really sold me on getting in touch with him first, because there's other talented, people out there who we were looking at, was Bruce said he's just great to work with. He's fantastic to work with. And half the battle of success in anything, half the battle of success is surrounding yourself with the right people. And when he said that, I thought to myself, well, yes, let's, you don't just know him, you have experience with him, and he's great to work with. So this is the guy right here. This is the, so we had a meeting with him a couple of days ago, gave him our pitch, caught up, talked. I got to know him, obviously, because I don't know him. Now I do. And he was sold. He thought it was a great opportunity, a great idea. And this is a pro director of photography working in the industry at the highest level. So this is Greg Bennett. It says Greg Bennett is an accomplished director of photography based out of Toronto, Canada. His work has been nominated twice for CSC, Canadian Society of Cinematographers Awards. His most recent narrative film work was for Nighthawk, a feature film directed by Canadian filmmaker Don Shabib, I think is how you pronounce that. Greg has shot numerous shorts, features, commercials, and music videos, and is comfortable in a wide range of styles. Greg's excited to have joined the team, and we are absolutely thrilled to have him. And I also believe that Greg also won the Best Cinematography Award for a feature film a couple of years ago at the Hamilton Film Festival. So Greg is the real deal. He's been doing it for a long time. He shot on all different types of cameras, everything from the Red to the Arri Alexa to, the sort of mid-level cameras like, your C100s, your 200s, your 300s. He shot on everything. He shot on 35 millimeter film. He shot on a bunch of stuff. So he is she is definitely the real deal. And we could not be more thrilled to have Greg on board, because he's going to, like, this is the level we're talking about, right? And he's just thrilled. And yeah, I mean, just a really nice guy, down to earth, really easy to. The one thing that I really liked about Greg was when I was talking to him, and again, it was my first time speaking with him, but he looked me in the eyes as I was speaking, and I really felt that we were connecting, that he was listening to what I had to say. And one of the most important relationships a director will ever have on set is, if not the most important one, is that with the director of photography. It's a relationship that is so important, because it is the director of photography's job to bring their own style to, of course, the picture, but to execute the vision of the director or directors in this case. And Greg is a pro level, working at the highest level in the industry. So we are absolutely thrilled to have Greg on board. And then, of course, yesterday, I also made the announcement that we have cast our lead actress. And I made that announcement late last night. There will be another announcement coming today as well, later today, after I've had a chance to talk with the actress later today. But this was, this was our... the announcement that I made. We cast our lead, who will be playing Sam in the movie, and we went through a very long couple of weeks audition process. Not all the roles have been filled yet, but we definitely wanted to fill at least this role at minimum for the Indiegogo campaign, and it looks like we'll probably have the 3 main roles filled for the Indiegogo campaign, which is great. But this is our, we definitely wanted to have our lead at the very least. And it's no secret now, of course, because I made the post yesterday and I dropped the synopsis a couple of weeks ago, that our lead is the granddaughter, playing the granddaughter of, not the granddaughter, but playing the granddaughter of Olivia Hussey's character of Jess Bradford from the original Black Christmas. And the talent that submitted was ridiculous. There were so many talented people that submitted. We received, across all roles, we received close to 400 submissions. We couldn't possibly see all 400, so we had to narrow everything down and pick a select few for each of the roles. And this actress based here in Toronto was one of them, and she was fantastic. Victoria, if you're watching, I don't know if you are, but if you are, you were great. You know that. I already told you that the other day on the phone. So this is Victoria Miro, I think is how, if I remember correctly, is how you pronounce her name. Victoria Miro graduated on the Dean's List in the let's try that again. Victoria Miro graduated on the Dean's List in 2018 with a BFA honors degree at York University for the Acting Conservatory program. She has several years of experience under her belt in a variety of short films, commercials, and theater. Victoria has signed on to play Sam, the granddaughter of Jess Bradford from the original Black Christmas. So she is extraordinarily talented, just terrific to talk to on the phone, brings wonderful energy, at least to the conversation I had with her. She's uber excited. She can't wait to get started, even though, we won't be shooting this thing until November is the planned sort of shoot date at this point. But she is thrilled and excited to be on board and playing this character. And we were looking for somebody who resembled a younger Olivia Hussey, a younger Jess Bradford. I mean, that was important. I mean, we did receive auditions from people that, didn't look very much like her at all. But sometimes, or they looked enough like her maybe that we wanted to see what they could do. And because at the end of the day, we wanted talent. And we wanted people that, that you believe them in their roles. I mean, that's why, we're going this route. Everything, I mean, it's a professional production, very much like Never Hike Alone and Dylan's New Nightmare and all that. I mean, it's that level. And we wanted to make sure that we were hiring the right people. And that includes the cast. And she's just extraordinarily talented. One of the things that we really liked about her was her ability to instinctually adapt to the emotions at play that she was reading for in the audition. She was splendid. Maybe that audition will be on the Blu-ray. Maybe it'll be on the Blu-ray. I don't know yet. Not sure yet. That's not a bad idea though. Maybe we'll include everybody's audition on the Blu-rays, but that might be kind of fun. But we'll see. But anyway, yeah. So she's fantastic. And then there will be another announcement coming later. And of course, she has a slight resemblance to a young Olivia Hussey from the original Black Christmas. Now, does she look exactly like Olivia Hussey? Well, no, of course not. I mean, you would need Olivia Hussey at, 22 years old for that. But she definitely, I believe, looking at her, I believe she could be the offspring of an offspring to Olivia Hussey's character. And that was important. So, and she's extraordinarily talented. So we are thrilled to have her on board. And then later today, I was going to make the announcement here, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait because there's a couple things I want to ask this actress. I will be speaking to another actress later today on the phone and welcoming her to the project and doing the same thing I did with Victoria the other day. And we are excited about that. So I will make that announcement later, probably maybe around 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, something like that. So we are, and then there's a couple other roles that have not yet been filled, but we are still going through the auditions for those. Those have been tough. Those have been really, really tough to try and narrow down exactly what we want to do. And then, of course, Bruce and I are heading up to see a location not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, our main location, which is about 4 hours from here. We're doing a location scout. And Bruce and I will be able to talk more about this in depth and talk about all that kind of jazz more next week when I have him on, because obviously then we'll be able to, really dive deeper into it, answer your questions if you have any, of course. I'll be answering some here, of course. Anything that you have. But we are excited. We are going to be shooting a little teaser for the Indiegogo campaign. Now, it's not like it is the purest definition of a teaser. It's like what teasers used to be in like the 80s, right? Or the 90s, right? It is a teaser. It's not this 3-minute, thing with everybody acting in it and all that kind of stuff. It has nothing to do with that. But just a little something for the Indiegogo campaign. We're also planning on doing very soon as well. So there's a lot to go on. There's a lot to talk about. I wanted to talk about this today because it's important. And I wanted to start getting it out there into the pop culture and letting people know that we are doing this because we're doing it for you guys. We're doing it for us, of course, because we're excited about it. But we just want to, keep it in the back of your head that we're going to need your help, and we're going to need your help to raise this money. And remember, anything. I mean, there will be certain tiers, of course, and obviously, like any Indiegogo campaign, there are tiers that are very affordable, and there are tiers that are of a higher price. But that's standard with any Indiegogo campaign. But anything helps, whether it's, $5 or $500. I mean, it's anything helps. It's just, and everything raised through the campaign goes right back into the production, literally. I mean, like I said, everything from the insurance to the locations to travel to the Indiegogo campaign in terms of the perks to the equipment rentals everything. It's just it's a big ordeal. So but we are the thing that I'm really excited is once you start, and anybody who's a filmmaker watching this, once you start assembling, and even if you're not working at this level, maybe you're working on more of an amateur level, right? And maybe you're just shooting home movies around your house. The same principle applies, right? It's really exciting when you start to see things coming together. And that doesn't matter if they're shooting Star Wars, okay? If they're shooting Never Hike Alone or Dylan's New Nightmare or It's Me, Billy, more of the professional independent side, or if you're shooting home movies at home. It doesn't matter. The principle is the same, as it's really exciting when you start to seeing pieces come together. And watching the actors audition, I never stop getting a kick out of this. Watching auditions, professional actors audition for reading scripts, or not the whole thing, obviously, but reading sides, which is a section of a script, reading the sides that you've written, and bringing the characters that you've created to life. I mean, that's just, it's so cool. I'll never forget back in, I think it was 97, Matt Damon said that it was so weird and surreal, but unbelievably incredible to see Robin Williams performing a character that he created. Because at that time, Matt Damon was virtually a nobody. I mean, he'd done a few little things here and there, but it was Good Will Hunting that really put Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on the map. Ben Affleck worked with, Kevin Smith and Mallrats and all that kind of stuff a couple years prior, but it was really the Good Will Hunting film that put them on the mainstream map. And they had written that script. And it was just he said it was so surreal. It's Robin fucking Williams, so reading something that I created. Now, obviously, I don't have somebody like Robin Williams in the movie, but just to see these professional actors bringing your character to life is really cool. It's really cool, and I can't wait to work with these people. There's just such great talent and so much fun. All on the same page, trying to create something together. It's really, really exciting in that regard. So I will definitely be. Oh, and of course the poster here. Where's the poster? Here we are. I'm sure you guys have seen this 1,000 times, because this has been out in the pop culture for a while now. This, of course, is the official poster for It's Me, Billy, and the subtitle there is "You Always Knew He'd Call Back." Now, will there be other posters? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. This is the poster. This was the first poster. Well, no, it wasn't the first poster we created. We created a really simple one to just back last summer to sort of just kind of make the announcement. It was sort of like an announcement poster. And then about 6 to 8 weeks later, we created this one, and we've never wavered from it. We really like the mood that it evokes, and it's exactly what we wanted. And I got to give credit to Cecil Laird, actually. I don't know if Cecil Laird is watching, but I got to give credit to Cecil Laird because it was Cecil that actually put me on to the font for It's Me, Billy, because I had a different font. The poster had not yet been released, and I had a font in there that was different. It wasn't I wouldn't say worse or better. It was just different. It was fine too. I mean, I probably could have gone with it and it would have been okay. But back last summer, when Cecil had me on the Horror Show YouTube channel, he was doing an interview with me, and it was the same show. Now, he asked me this off camera, so you actually don't see me accepting this because, but after we got offline, it was the same night that he asked me if I wanted to play Freddy Krueger in Dylan's New Nightmare. And I was like, oh my God, yes, of course. He was doing up the thumbnail for that show, and he posted it, getting ready to go live, and he used this font to sort of help kind of promote this new film that I was in development on. And I said to him before we went live, I said, Cecil, what is that font? That's great. He goes, it's called Christmas Crackle. And I was like, oh, yes, I really like that. So I said, send me the link so I can download that and throw it into Photoshop. So that's what he did. And I put it on there, and I put a bit of blood on the bee, and, very sort of classic old school kind of, it's got a bit of an 80s vibe, maybe a little bit, a little sensational. And we loved it. Myself and Bruce like, oh, that's really great. And the font is called Christmas Crackle. I mean, it's a Christmas font in some ways. So, I mean, I've heard some people say, it looks a little too much like this or a little too much like that. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. You can't please everybody, right? People have often said to me too, do you think everybody's going to like the movie? And I said, well, first of all, I haven't shot it yet, so I have no idea. But B, I can actually answer that. No, not everybody's going to like it. I mean, you always hope the vast majority of people do, but are there going to be people that love this movie? Yes. Are there going to be people that hate this movie? Yes. Are there going to be people that's the nature of the game. There are going to be people that think Never Hike in the Snow is a big pile of shit. There are people right now that think Never Hike Alone is a big pile of dog shit. They're out there, right? But you can't please everybody, right? You got to do the best you can, deliver the best product possible, and let the chips fall where they may. There's going to be people that are going to think Dylan's New Nightmare is dog shit. Because that's just the call. His voice is too deep. His voice is too high. His voice is too low. His voice is too middle. I mean, it's just the way it is. So you just do the best you can, and you deliver on your vision, and let the chips fall where they may. And hopefully, most people love it. But like I said, a big part of this becoming a reality, a big part of, if you guys want to see Victoria as Sam, Jess Bradford's granddaughter, in a what if scenario, right, then we need your help. And like I said, we're planning on launching the Indiegogo campaign next month. That's the goal anyway. We were thinking at the beginning of the month, but now it might be maybe towards the later half of the month, depending on our schedules. Because of course, as you can imagine, there is so much work we're doing, and trying to bring other people on board and things like that. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but I'm just thrilled. What's the chat room saying here? MSL54 says Billy's New Nightmare. Ooh, it's not a bad little title. Thomas Buckingham says, Dave, really looking forward to It's Me, Billy. I think you and Bruce are going to smash it. I hope so, man. We are trying to do this, like I said, it's my role in the entertainment industry, I'm a professional voice actor. I'm an independent filmmaker. I've done some independent shorts, of course, beyond even the Halloween shit. And I went to school for film, obviously, and I've worked on set in a variety of roles as a PA, as a swing, and Bruce, of course, works in the entertainment industry, in the film industry, I should say. He is the national manager of education and training at William F. White International in Toronto. And William F. White International, Whites for short, is Canada's largest distributor of motion picture and theatrical lighting and grip gear and cameras as well. Well, I don't think they're the largest distributor of camera gear, but they do have a camera department. But they are definitely Canada's largest distributor of theatrical television and motion picture lighting and grip gear. So when Hollywood comes up to Toronto, which they do all the time because we're Hollywood North up here, most cases or a lot of cases, they will rent their gear from Whites. So some of the movies that Whites has supplied gear on would be Star Trek Discovery, of course, the show, The Shape of Water, It Chapter 1 and 2, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And Bruce is the national manager of education and training there. So we have access to resources and people and connections to do this right, to make you guys proud. And again, it's not for profit. I mean, we can't release this commercially. We can't, throw it up and sell it to Netflix, or something like that. This is just to, it's for our portfolios, but it's for the fans. It's exactly what Vincent DeSante has done with, Friday the 13th, what Cecil Laird is doing with A Nightmare on Elm Street, Bruce and I are doing with Black Christmas. And because we're passionate about... and two, what's interesting is that there never really was, because look, I mean, I could have done another, let's do another Halloween fan film, but and no disrespect to those who are doing it, but it's a very, as you guys know, it's a very saturated market, right? Very saturated, right? Some are amazing, some are not so amazing. And when I was watching Black Christmas last spring, and I thought, geez, this might be kind of fun. I mean, again, it's one of the most iconic endings in the history of horror. It doesn't need a sequel. I mean, it really doesn't. But it might be kind of fun to do a what if scenario, right? What happened after that? I mean, did Jess survive? Did her baby survive? And obviously they did. Where all that is now in terms of 45, 50 years later, you'll have to wait and see. But that was sort of our starting point. And we were like, what happens? What happened next? And there were next to no Black Christmas fan films online. Like there's Black Christmas fan cuts and fan trailers of certain of the 3 films. And I think there's one home amateur Black Christmas fan film, I think, but there really wasn't anything. And so we saw sort of an opportunity to be, hey, let's do that. That would be, and it's a Canadian movie, and we're Canadian, and it was shot in Toronto, and we're in Toronto. Like that's really cool. Get a Canadian cast and a Canadian crew, and really kind of see what we can deliver here. So we are really excited about this. Really, really excited about it. So once again, yes, for those of you that might just be joining us, and I'll do this a few times throughout the show, our director of photography that has signed on board for It's Me, Billy is Greg Bennett. He is a professional director of photography working at the highest level in the film industry. He is an accomplished director of photography based out of Toronto, Canada. His work has been nominated twice for CSC, Canadian Society of Cinematographers Awards. His most recent narrative film work was for Nighthawk, a feature film directed by Canadian filmmaker Don Shabib, I believe. Greg has shot numerous shorts, features, commercials, and music videos, and is comfortable in a wide range of styles. Greg's excited to have joined the team, and we are absolutely thrilled to have him. And we are. I mean, he has shot on the highest of gear, and we couldn't be more thrilled. And then, of course, our lead actress, Victoria Miro, graduated on the Dean's List in 2018 with a BFA honors degree at York University for the Acting Conservatory program. She has several years of experience under her belt in a variety of short films, commercials, and theater. Victoria has signed on to play Sam, the granddaughter of Jess Bradford from the original Black Christmas. So again, we are absolutely, and there'll be another announcement. One of Sam, because obviously, where's the, I should have brought that up. I should have done this before. I'm not thinking. I got so many things going on here. I just was not thinking. Maybe it is, hang on a second. Now I got to do this live. I got to do it live. I believe that's it. The official synopsis for the movie. That might help, right? If I put up the official synopsis for the movie, since that was released a couple of weeks ago. All right. Here is the official synopsis for the movie. There you go. Unaware of the danger that's hunting her, Sam and her 2 best friends are spending Christmas Eve at her grandmother's old country mansion. Stalked by a sinister evil that's been lurking in the shadows for nearly 50 years, Sam is about to come face to face with her grandmother's chilling Christmas past, the deranged psychopath known only as Billy. And so that's it. We wanted to write something that gave you enough, not too much, didn't give anything away per se, but gave you enough to whet your appetite and get excited about the potential. And then, of course, when you start seeing, you read that and you think to yourself, oh, okay, Sam, and then there she is. There is Sam. And we just couldn't be more excited. So later today, I will have an announcement, or later tonight, I should say, maybe after 8 o'clock, maybe before, we'll see. There'll be an announcement in regards to one of Sam's best friends, because we have also cast one of Sam's best friends. She is extraordinarily talented as well, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have her on the project as well. So really excited. Let's see, what are some people saying here? Amcel54 says, hey Dave, will this movie have mood and atmosphere? With a director of photography like Greg Bennett, you bet you it will. Oliver Mercer says, Dave, if you get enough of a budget to film a full-length movie, would you do it for It's Me, Billy? Well, I don't see why not. If okay, let's say, like, again, Bruce and I have not done the budget yet, but we're estimating probably we're going to need to raise somewhere between 40 and 50,000. That's the estimate. Now, if we suddenly raised 100,000, well, that's double the budget, and that means that maybe we might think of that. Now, we're not going to know that until the summer, obviously, because the campaign's going to run for, a month or two, and then, you know what I mean? So we're not going to know that for a few months. But I actually think what we would probably do is we would stick to the short film, and I don't want to give too much away. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. Maybe. But the more we can raise, the better. Because that's something you have to understand. Because, if we can raise, like, let's say we're asking for 40. If we can raise 50, that's good. I mean, that's something that we would really like to do. Because the more money you raise for a movie, the better, because that means you can take one extra day at a location, right? That means you can, maybe we were thinking of shooting with this, but now we can shoot with this. You know what I mean? Hey, we were going to shoot on this, but now we can shoot on this. Hey, you know what? We were going to use that, but now we can get this. And, the more money is always better. It always goes right back into the production. You know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. Patrick Hartnett says, "Who's Billy? I only know Cookie Woman." Cookie Woman? Lead Poisoning says, "Dave, have you ever met Bob Clark, the original director of Black Christmas?" I have not, no. He sadly passed away in about 2007. He was killed in a car accident with, I believe, his son. They were driving in Los Angeles, I think. Bob Clark is actually the director who also directed A Christmas Story. The kid there with a little shotgun or whatever, BB gun or whatever it is. He directed that as well. Yeah, weird, eh? Black Christmas, Christmas Story, two Christmas movies, two ends of the genre spectrum. But funny enough, one of the camera operators on the Christmas film, but yeah, pretty cool stuff indeed. Oh wait, are we still there? I think we're still there. A bit of a hiccup in the feed, but we're still there. I don't know why it does that. It does that from time to time. It's a bit of a surge. I have everything closed. It says I'm using just a bit of a surge. I think we're okay. We're still here. That's the important thing, is that we're still here. We are still here. So that is the important thing. Let me just, hang on. I'm just going to do that, and then that, and then no, and then no. I'm just closing this other program down. I mean, I have a computer that can handle probably 8K. It's a very fast computer, but nonetheless want to close that down anyway, just so we're okay there, and then put myself back up there. It should help a little bit anyway. Tabitha Short says, "Is there film equipment that you guys will have to rent, or do you own everything you will use?" No, we have to rent. When you are working at this level, you have to rent that gear. I mean, there'll be some things that Greg might own. It depends on the camera package we want to go with. Greg does have his own professional camera package, but even Greg, working at the level he does, he doesn't have everything, obviously, because the gear is just so expensive. When we're talking about dolly tracks and doorway dollies and, steady cams or, rigs and, jib arms maybe and, cranes or, whatever it is. I mean, this is stuff you rent. You know what I mean? But Bruce, working at White's, where he does, that's the company that supplies all this gear. So now that doesn't mean we can rent it for free, but it certainly we have the accessibility to be able to do that. And we will be renting. We have to go through the list to figure out what gear and equipment we need. We'd be working with Greg closely on that, what he believes he needs as the director of photography to help execute this vision. We sent the script off to Greg this morning, actually. So Greg's going to be looking over the script today or tomorrow or whenever he has time. There's no rush, Greg, if you're watching. But he's going to look that over and then get a sense of the film and a sense of what he is going to need to be able to pull this vision off. You know what I mean? And he might come back and say, I love it, it's great, but you know what, I know you're planning this much time to shoot, I think we're going to need this much time to be able to do this. Or he might say, you know what, I'm going to need this, and we work together like that to be able to rent the lights and the gear and all that kind of stuff. And I will probably need some dolly track as well, which of course is just the track you lay down, you put, the dolly on it, you have the camera on it, you get those nice, all that kind of jazz. So yes, no, we will definitely have to be renting that as well. And of course, insurance on top of that. We have to make sure everybody is insured. So if there's any accidents that happen on set, it is not the responsibility of the homeowner or us, everything is covered. That's a big expense too. And then of course, renting the locations. The locations are not cheap either. There's usually day rates or hour rates, and they can be pretty hefty too. So it's really interesting. Let me see here. Jonathan Nichols says, at Dave McRae, have you thought about having Tony come on to take behind the scenes photos if the budget allows for it? Of course. Yeah, there's already somebody, I have thought of that, but there's already somebody here that we may be bringing on board to do that. Or to also, because I'd want to pay Tony as well, because that's right. But so we're thinking about it. We are thinking about it. It's nothing personal to Tony. There's just so many people we're in contact here with. Tony would be amazing. So it is something I've thought about, but we're talking to several people here already organically through the natural ordeal of knowing people here. And just logistics wise, it may be a bit easier to do it. But yeah, Tony's amazing. I mean, if we could do it, or if we decide to do it, I wouldn't hesitate to do it, even though I hesitated there. But I just meant like I wouldn't hesitate to do it. You hesitated! You know what I mean? No, Tony's fucking amazing. Aaron Click says, Dave, with It's Me, Billy, are there any plans to implement CGI, or will it be all practical? All practical. Vanderhoff66FU says, hey, Dave, I sent you something in the mail. Post office tried to deliver there, said waiting for an address. Okay, did you deliver it to the address? Did you deliver it via USPS, United States Postal Service? Like, you didn't go FedEx or UPS? Because if you went FedEx or UPS, there may be an issue. But if you went USPS, it should be at my P.O. box. I'm going to head up there today to check the P.O. box. All right. So I'll have a better idea of whether something came in the package or not, but it should have come. I mean, it should be there. But I'm not really sure. I'll check to see if anything came. And then if nothing came, I'll let you know, maybe on tomorrow's show, and then you can take it from there, because I'm not like, if they say, no, we haven't received anything, that's kind of, you gotta check and see what the situation is. Let me see here. But Striker87 says, what is going to be the most expensive part of making your fan film? The cast, the staffing, equipment, props, locations, permits, all the above? I would probably say the most expensive part will probably be the equipment and location. Will probably be the most expensive part. To give you guys and again, I'll be talking more in depth about this with Bruce next week, though we'll be reiterating some things that I've talked about here, but I wanted to sort of plant the seed to get you guys thinking about this. Anybody who's watching after the fact, to get them thinking about this as well. Maybe store some money away, save some extra cash. We'd really appreciate it. Getting ready for the campaign. But I like to give you an example, okay? And this is just an example of what sort of you deal with when you're making a film, whether it's short or feature, or, whatever, right? The location costs can be, now look, I mean, if you know somebody who happens to run a such and such or own a such and such, sometimes that can cut down on cost. And sometimes you can, oh my God, my friend Bob owns a car dealership. There's no car there's no car dealership in It's Me, Billy. I'm just, again, for the sake of argument, as an example. Oh my God, Bob owns a car dealership. Bob, can we use your car dealership? Yeah, man, you can use my car dealership. Hey, listen, we'll throw you some cash. Oh yeah, just throw me a little bit. Sometimes those things happen, right? Absolutely. But for us, with It's Me, Billy, we have a very specific location in mind is going to cost a bit of money. So depending on the location, it's not unprecedented for film crews to spend, thousands of dollars a day. That's right, a day just to shoot at the location, right? So, I mean, you could end up spending $10,000 just on where you're shooting. And then you shoot over the course of 5 days or something like that, right? I mean, that's a very common thing. And then of course, if you're Hollywood, I mean, if you're doing something like a major Hollywood feature film, I mean, it could be a lot more than that. Of course, you have budgets of millions of dollars. So yes, locations is going to be a big expense for us. Equipment rental, insurance, permits, everything you said. I mean, it's the reality of it. Even though it's a short film, we still have to go through the process of these things, and we want it. We got our fingers crossed so much that we can raise this, because we feel if we can raise the money, we feel really confident in delivering something you guys can go, wow. Okay, now that, like, we're talking like Never Hike Alone level of quality, and what Vince is doing and what Cecil's doing with Dylan's new Nightmare, but with Black Christmas, right? You know what I mean? Then an honor and a tip to our hat to the original, and then it will be up online for free for everybody to watch until their heart's content. Frank Riker sends in a super chat and says, thank you, buddy, for the support. Really appreciate it. Dave just got done horseback riding with Malik Akkad, and he said Myers dies and ends by entering Kevin's house from Home Alone by one of the booby traps. Happy Halloween, you filthy animal, for the channel. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. Frank is a globe-trotting male socialite. I mean, he's out there schmoozing and getting involved with all sorts of incredible people. He was horseback riding with Malik Akkad, and that's how Halloween ends with the Michael Myers entering the Home Alone house, and he gets killed that way. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. I love it. It's so funny. Let me see here. Smith's Grove says, Dave, is the old country mansion the sorority house from the original? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes. I don't want to say anything yet, because I want I just want once the trailer is released, which won't be till next year, of course, early next year, maybe this time, who knows. I want some things to remain a secret, and sort of just kind of let it unfold organically. I don't want to set any unrealistic expectations unnecessarily. But maybe as we go along in the production, I'll feel more confident talking about that. Maybe I'll talk about it next week with Bruce. Who knows? We'll see. Aaron Click says, Dave, I apologize if you've already answered this, but will this be shot on digital or film, or is it up to Greg? No, this will be shot digitally, because shooting on film is just, I mean, we're going to need a lot more than $40,000 to shoot on film. So this will be shot digitally, because it's the cheaper route, obviously. Not cheap, but it's definitely the cheaper route, or route, depending on where you are in the U.S. I say route. I don't know. Do you guys say route or route? I guess it all depends on where you are. Yes, but shooting on professional cinema camera. So whether that's the Red or the Airy or one of the maybe even mid-level cinema cams, that is our goal, because that's what Greg shoots on. I mean, Greg's not going to be not that there's anything wrong with shooting your films on a DSLR, but that's just not the level that Greg is working at. So, which is good for us. And so he's really excited about it. And of course, if the more money we raise, the more of a reality that maybe, well, you know what, we were thinking of shooting on this, but now that we've got this for the camera budget, we can actually shoot on this. And Greg is familiar with shoot. Like, it's not like, oh, Greg doesn't know how to shoot on that. No, he's a professional DP. He can, you want to shoot on the Red? Let's do it. You want to shoot on the Airy? Let's do it. You want to shoot on that? Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so great about having somebody like Greg on board as our DP, is he shot on everything. I mean, maybe not everything, but most of the high level common shit that you see Hollywood shooting on, Greg shot on. So that's why it's like, oh my God, like let's hope we can raise this money. You know what I mean? It's just going to be so much fun. Camera Film says, when is the movie being released? Probably, well, not till next year. We don't go to camera till November. That is our goal. Now, I know some people have asked about the coronavirus and whether or not that will hinder, because obviously it is currently hindering major Hollywood productions right now. Bruce is dealing with that right now, working at White's, because obviously White's deals with major Hollywood productions that have come through. He was talking about it with me on the phone today. I don't want to talk about it specifically as it relates to the film industry because Bruce is more of the expert on that. He's boots on the ground right now. He's dealing with it day in and day out with Hollywood productions that are shooting in and around Toronto and how that's going to affect Hollywood productions in Canada. So Bruce is sort of dealing with that as we speak, and he has more of that knowledge on whether or not that will affect us. Now, I will say this, so I'll leave it to him. He can talk more about it in depth next week when I get him on. But I will just say this. We are still quite a ways out. We don't plan to shoot until November. And for obvious reasons, obviously it's not a summer film. And we have a relatively small, it's a small cast and a relatively small crew. So obviously we're not a crew of 250 people. So that works in our favor. So I still feel confident, but we are monitoring the situation and taking it day by day and seeing sort of what happens. If Bruce and I were planning on shooting the movie next month, this thing probably wouldn't be shot. It wouldn't be going to camera next month because of everything that's going on. But because we still have like 8 months, hopefully by then the coronavirus, or COVID-19 as they like to say, will maybe be sort of on its way out and not much of a big deal. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So the shooting in November, I'm guessing, probably a spring release, maybe something like that, 2021, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Some people have said, well, why don't you wait till Christmas 2021 to release it then? And I'm like, well, that's because it's a little too, maybe I don't want to wait that long. Maybe it's Christmas in July. Maybe it's Christmas in spring. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge. First things first, right? You don't want to put the cart before the horse. First things first, we need to raise the money to make the movie. I mean, that's the first thing, right? If we don't raise the money, there ain't no It's Me, Billy. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing we got to kind of put on the table. So anything you guys have scrounging around, pennies, bills, whatever it is you want to throw our way when it comes to the campaign or donate, we'd really appreciate it, man, because we're doing this for us, but we're doing it for you guys too. Let me see here. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. A couple of people asking some questions, which is really good. It's great to see that you guys are engaged and that you're interested in the project because we are excited, man. We are excited. Like, listen to this. Here is a text. I won't read her name yet because I want to make the official announcement later tonight. But this is the text that I received from the actress that I will be talking to later today. She said, I'll be talking to her at about 7 tonight. She says, hey, Dave, I'm excited to get the ball rolling. Should still be great for me to talk to you tonight. You know what I mean? Like she's and that's how Victoria was too. Victoria was extremely excited. For those of you that may have missed the announcement, this is, I did make the announcement yesterday. This is our lead actress, Victoria Miro, who will be playing the granddaughter of Jess Bradford from the original Black Christmas. She is extraordinarily talented and has a little bit of that Olivia Hussey vibe going, as you guys can see, which was a factor. But what was more of the factor than just the way she looks and in terms of being sort of a descendant of Olivia Hussey's character of Jess was that she's really talented. And she's just awesome. So, and this girl who I will be talking to today is the same way. She's just excited and passionate and can't wait. And she was extremely talented. So awesome stuff. Let me see here. Go back a little bit. Justin Valdera says, Dave, who are you casting for Billy, and is he still alive in your movie? Well, yes, Billy is alive. He would be in his probably mid to late 60s now, but Billy has still not been cast. We are still going through that process now. Let me see. Pat Broadbent says, Dave, is Black Christmas in your top 5 horror films? For me, yes, definitely. Halloween's my favorite, probably followed by maybe the original Elm Street. I don't know. Probably Halloween, then Black Christmas, then original Elm Street, maybe. I love me some Black Christmas, man. The original, of course. let me see here. Jack Carter says, I've never watched Black Christmas. Do you recommend watching it? Yes, Jack. What? Listen, Black Christmas is a Canadian horror movie released in 1974, shot right here in Toronto. And it was released in the United States in 1974 under the name Silent Night, Evil Night. And the reason why they did that is because they thought, especially in the 70s, when there were a lot of these types of movies, they thought that the title would be confusing to the general audience. They would think it was they call it a blaxploitation film. It's like a black exploitation film, a blaxploitation film, I think is what they called it. And they thought it was going to be just a bunch of like actors who are black in some sort of horror exploitation film. Black Christmas, right? Really, that's why they changed it to Silent Night, Evil Night for the theatrical release, a very limited one, but in the US. Well, since then, they've obviously, now you can pick up the movie and rent the movie and buy the movie in the US under its original intended title of Black Christmas, because people were, don't think that anymore. But it's a bit dated now, but it's if you like Halloween and you want to see where some of the inspiration that John Carpenter got for Halloween came from in terms of its visual style, watch Black Christmas. It's creepy, it's eerie, it's a bit of a slow burn, but it's certainly one of those films that you can see by watching that movie. It was one of the first of its kind, and how other films later on, whether intentionally or not, were emulating it. So yes, and of course, Jack, if you can, we'd love for you to donate to the campaign when it launches, if you can, of course, right? But brush up on that and then go read about the campaign. We'd be excited to have you on board as a donor, man. Let me see here. The Manhammer AR-15 says he's a good actor, of course, but I just can't get into him. Captain Phillips. Oh, we're talking about Tom Hanks. Yeah, Tom Hanks, of course, and his wife Rita Wilson, of course, just was announced yesterday that they have contracted COVID-19. So there's a developing situation with the Elvis Presley film that they're involved with there. That has been halted production. They're shooting in Australia. That production has been halted. So definitely, you gotta think about that. Eddie Green sends in a super chat, says Tom Hanks contracted. I was just talking about that. Yeah, Eddie. It's the reality. Look, I think it's important to understand not to panic. We shouldn't panic. Go about your day. Just do your due diligence, wash your hands. If you hear somebody cough from, the other aisle at the grocery store or the other room don't go over there. You know what I mean? If you feel comfortable, if it makes you feel comfortable wearing a mask, wear a mask. But certainly the world can't stop. But I think when you see certain, like the NBA suspending its season indefinitely, I certainly hear it from Bruce, obviously working at the highest level in the film industry here in Canada and dealing with what he's dealing with at White's and I hear things, and certainly there is, because you're dealing with multi-million, sometimes billions of dollars, there tends to be more of an urgency and rightly so, more of an urgency and more of not a panic, but a high alert level of intensity, I shall say, to things. When I was talking to Bruce on the phone this morning, of course, I could hear it in his voice. I mean, he was driving into work when he called me, and I could hear it. I could hear the seriousness of the situation and the intensity in his voice because of the level that they're working at over at White's. So, there are productions shooting right now in Toronto, Hollywood production shooting in Toronto, that are renting gear from White's. So White's is dealing with this, and of course we have many cases of the disease here or the virus, I should say, here in Toronto. It's not like Rome or Italy, but certainly I think in the province of Ontario, we've had about 35 confirmed cases, I think, and there's about maybe 9 or 10 cases of them in Toronto or something. It's a real sort of thing. You want to get ahead of it in case something gets really, really bad. So it's crazy. It's crazy, Eddie. It is. I said to Bruce, it'll be very interesting to see how things unfold over the next little bit. Let me see here. And like I said, Bruce will be able to answer more of how that is going on in terms of COVID-19 next week when I have him on. He'll be able to sort of talk more from boots on the ground because he's dealing with it from the film industry's perspective, actually from the other side. I'm just going by what he sort of briefly told me, and then of course what I'm reading with you guys. In terms of the voiceover side of things, it hasn't affected me yet. The good news about voiceover, especially in 2020 and for the last 10 years or so, when you're working at the level that I am, we have professional home studios. So we have the ability to dish out, national and international promos or trailers or like whatever it is from our home studios. So we don't necessarily have to go in to speak to anybody. But of course, I'm doing a national ad. I'm supposed to be doing a national ad on the next week or the week after. I think it's the week after. Or is it next week? No, it's the week after. I'll be going into a studio in downtown Toronto to do a national spot for a product that actually I think will air in the States. So I'll let you know what that is when that gets confirmed. But I'm confirmed to go and do it. But same kind of thing is happening. Do we want to do it from home? Do we want to do it in the studio? So there's things that we're dealing with day to day. It's a day to day thing. It's kind of you want to be prepared, but the good news is for me is that if somebody said, hey, can you record this trailer at home? Can you do this national spot at home? Can you record this e-learning thing at home? I have the ability to do that, which you can't necessarily say about It's Me, Billy, or the big Hollywood productions. Obviously, they can, they have millions of dollars at stake, and it's a big deal. But like I said, Bruce will be able to talk about it in more depth from the filmmaking or from the film industry side of things next week, which will be really great to have him on to talk about that. And who knows where we'll be this time next week, depending on which day. He's moving, by the way. He's moving home, so he's busy doing that as well. So it's just crazy stuff. Let me see here. Vanderhoff 6. Hey Dave, I sent it to your PO box last time. I'm the guy that sent you the Halloween. Oh, okay, cool. Well, then it should be there. I don't understand why it wouldn't be there. I mean, you sent it USPS last time, so I will check. Like I said, I'm going up to the PO box this afternoon. I will check, see what the situation is, and as long as you sent it USPS coming from the States, because for some reason FedEx, like we have FedEx up here, we have UPS up here as well, but for whatever reason I said FedEx and Google Home thought I was asking her something, but for whatever reason FedEx and UPS don't deliver to Canada Post PO boxes. They deliver, it's a whole thing, but USPS does, because USPS will deliver the package to the border, and then Canada Post takes over from there, and Canada Post does deliver to their own PO boxes. So that's why I say USPS is the best way to go if you're delivering something to my PO box. So I will check this afternoon, buddy, and then I'll let you know. Or send me a message. Go to my Facebook page, my Many Things Dave McRae, not my personal one, but the Facebook page that is connected to this channel. And if you have Facebook, that is, or if you have Twitter or Instagram or something, send me a message. Just let me know who you are, and then I can respond maybe today back to you as well and let you know what the situation is. If not, remind me on tomorrow's show with Cody. The Boogeyman is coming says, will your film have a slasher type body count, or will it be purely based on mood and atmosphere? Well, no, I'm not going to say it's going to have again, it's a short film, right? So it'll probably be anywhere between 25, 30 minutes long, which is enough time to do that. But it's not a slasher. It's not a Friday the 13th movie, right? I mean, it is very much in the vein of the original, and very Hitchcockian type. You know what I mean? And are there a few deaths that do happen? Yes, there are. But it's not that kind of a slasher. It's not Friday the 13th, blood, guts, gore, body count here. There's 13 people that are killed, and it's not like that. It's very much a tip of the hat and tribute to the original, which is what we wanted to do. Because that's important to us, right? We thought that was important. Let me see here. Any other questions? David Johnson says, let's get the budget to 70,000. Guys, I mean, I don't think that is what we will have it at. I don't think that like, I don't think that's what we're going to come in requesting, asking for. Like I said, I'll know more probably in the next couple of weeks what that budget will be, ballpark. But my estimation, again, and you've heard me say this before, is somewhere in between 40 to 50,000. But if we end up raising 70,000, hypothetically, that's incredible. I mean, that only makes the movie even more of a reality. Now we can take that extra day. You know, maybe we were going to shoot for 5 days. We're like, you know what? We got this extra. Now let's budget 6. And now we can take our time. You know, we don't have to rush through that. We can take our time. That is what it does. It only helps the production. Wow, you know what? We were going to shoot on this, but now we can shoot on, you know, this. And Greg would be like, you know what, let's do that. You know, like it only helps. So, you know, to get the budget for 70,000, I mean, you might be thinking, you know, maybe that's, you know, I don't know if you were being a little, you know, bit of a wink, but I agree. I absolutely agree. You know, there will be a set amount, but if we can exceed that, like some of them do, I mean, I think Never Hike in the Snow had a budget. They were trying to raise like 40 or 50,000, and they ended up raising like 70 or 80 or something like that, or 90 it was ridiculous. But that only bodes well for them, because then they're like, okay, now we can do, and then helps with post-production as well, helps with distribution of perks, right? Helps on so many levels. So absolutely, if we can raise our goal, that's great. But if we can exceed that, that only helps, right? So I couldn't agree more. Duke Fleet says, hey, Dave, are you going to release the movie on YouTube? Yes, we are. We're not sure if we're going to release it. Here's the thing. We're thinking about doing the festival circuit as well. I say problem, but it's not really a problem. It's a problem depending on how you look at it. But a lot of festivals will not accept your film if your movie is already up online for everybody to see. So now, again, there are some festivals that do accept that, or that are okay with that. But most festivals like either your movie to be premiering at their festival, or if it's not premiering, it can't. If it's not premiering at their festival, then yeah, so if it's not premiering at, like, let's say we submitted it to, and again, I'm just making this up. We submitted to, you know, Billy Bob's Dark Horror Film Festival. Okay, let's say we did that. All right. And it got accepted. Okay, great. And that's where it's going to have its world premiere. Okay, cool. Well, if we want to submit to another festival, they may accept it on the idea that, okay, well, you're not premiering it here, but if it's already up online, we won't accept it. So that's why you'll see a lot of movies do the festival circuit before they go up online for everybody to see. We haven't made up our mind yet how we're going to approach that. The festival circuit's fun to do, gets a lot of recognition that way. But if it's really good and we're really excited about it, we may just put it up online. We're not 100% sure yet of how we're going to approach that, right? First things first, let's raise the money for the movie and let's get the movie made. And then we'll cross that bridge once we start entering post-production, right? I think that makes sense, but first things first, right? We got to get that money. So that's the first thing. Let's see. Todd's King. I always butcher your name, buddy. It should, let me see here. It should be difficult enough to raise like 35,000 though. Look at Cecil's Elm Street. It should be difficult, or it shouldn't be. Did you say should or shouldn't? No, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. I think I think you're right. I mean, you know, they were able to raise, you know, the money they were able to raise, but it's not like they floated by that. You see, here's the thing too. This is what we're up against, and something you guys got to keep in mind. So save those quarters, folks. Save those pennies. Save those $1 bills, man. We're gonna need them. Here's the thing: is that, you know, Never Hike in the Snow, which is the prequel to Never Hike Alone. was able to, with relative ease, I don't want to say it's easy because I don't want to speak on behalf of Vince. I want to get Vince on the show here too. But they were able to raise much more than what they were asking for. But part of the reason for that is because they already had Never Hike Alone. And people saw the level of quality that fan film delivered. And then, of course, you got Tom Matthews in it, right? It's like, oh my God, the original, like they had quite a few things going for them to help raise their budget and then some. Cecil had Miko Hughes, right, in Dylan's New Nightmare, which is really good, which helped, obviously. But there was no other film that he had done that sort of set the bar, right? You know what I mean? They're using Vince as the, you know, he's a producer on it, blah, blah, blah. And they were able to raise what they needed. They're able to raise what they needed. With us, in theory, it's going to be probably the most difficult because we've chosen a movie that not everybody has seen. It's a cult film. A lot of Americans haven't seen it. There's some Americans have never heard of it, you know, and it's important that, although it is more known now than it was, say, 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago. Certainly, it is the less known of the properties that are in fan film sort of gear here. And of course, we don't have another fan film of that caliber to show as the benchmark. So it's, and we don't have Olivia Hussey attached. And there's reasons for that. There's potential things that we're thinking about doing. You know, you never say never. So it is an uphill battle. And so we're counting on you guys to do what you can to help out, to spread the word, to share on your social media, you know, to maybe you know somebody who knows somebody who wants to get involved and all that kind of stuff. It's really important, you know, and to just continue to spread that word. So you will be hearing me talk about it a lot over the next little bit. I'll be doing my other shows too and talking Halloween, of course, but definitely out of sight, out of mind. Right. And we know that we're behind the eight ball here a little bit just because it's new and we really want to, you know, raise this. So, but you're right. Tommy was saying, is Cecil's project not raising good funds? No. They were looking to raise about 40,000 and they came in just under that. But they made enough that Cecil felt like they were able to go ahead, and deliver on what he had written. And the same thing's going to happen with us, right? You know, we're going to have a budget set and we're going to, you know, hopefully come in to that, you know, because let's not forget too that Indiegogo naturally takes a certain percentage, right? They take a bit of a cut from that as well, not an enormous amount or anything like that, but and it's less of a cut. They take, I think if you reach your budget, they take a certain percentage, maybe it's 9% or something, and if you don't reach your budget, I think it's like 9% or something. If you reach your budget and exceed it, then it's only like 4 or 5% or something like that. So they do still take a cut. So that's something we have to factor in as well, right? So if we can reach our goal and then some, that only bodes well for us. And it's something that we really, that we're just really excited about and hoping you guys can get just as excited. So, and again, you know, the campaign's not launched yet, but over the next little bit, you'll be hearing more announcements leading up to that. So it's going to be tough, but I'm hoping we can do it. Let me see here. Todd Sking says, don't get me wrong, I love your project to succeed, and I definitely going to donate. I'll also donate to the Elm Street fan. Oh no, dude, you're being realistic, man. You're being realistic. This is why we want to start this process now by talking about it and getting it out there, because it's you know, it's like the fact of the matter is that if, like, it's a very simple equation, right? We understand that everybody has different income levels, everybody has different resources. Not everybody can donate, not everybody can. And if you can't donate, and look, even $5 to somebody might be somebody else's $100. Do you know what I mean? Everybody has different jobs, different income levels. We get that. We understand that. No harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? No big deal. If you can't contribute financially, then we ask that you share it, right? You share it, you talk about it. Maybe there's somebody, you have a friend that can, or that might be able to get on board, right? It's that kind of thing as well. But it's so important to note that is why, we're starting this process now, because the simple reality is this. We want to get people so excited that they want to donate, and maybe donate a couple of times, right? And it spreads and it catches on. But the reality is this: it's not personal. It's, if we can't raise the money, we can't do the movie. That's just the reality. So, and it's not, that's just, it's business, right? That's the reality that we're facing. Now, is it possible that if we're, let's say we're asking for 45,000, let's say, and we end up raising 38,000, can we still do the movie? Maybe, because, we'll be able to crunch some numbers and look at where we're at, and we might be able to go, you know what? I think we might still be able to pull this off. But it only bodes well. It's much better and much safer to have that extra, to have the budget and have that extra for the production. You know what I mean? I can tell you right now, if our budget's 45,000 and we end up raising 10,000, the movie's not happening. We might be able to shoot a scene or something like that, but we would just end up probably doing refunds or taking the money that's raised and maybe shooting a scene. You know what I mean? And maybe using that to help fund maybe the rest of the project or something like that. But our goal is to actually raise the money because we're just so excited about it. So excited. So you're being real, man. You're being real. That's the reality. That's the reality. So share it, get excited, start saving, folks. Start any little bit, any little $1 bills or little extras or whatever. Just start saving, man. Start saving. Gary Rangel says, these little fan made films, it's me, Billy, and Dylan's new nightmare. Can there be possible Blu-ray releases depending on how much money is raised? Yes, absolutely. We will have a Blu-ray option. There will be a Blu-ray option. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. Can't wait to launch that thing. You'll see all the perks there. Won't say anything more than that, but that's a standard kind of one that you start to see now. So that'll be there. Smith's Grove says, awesome. I love fan films. Short flicks like Never Hike Alone and Halloween Inferno are killer. Die Hard fans are the best. Quenching your thirst for blood just a little bit. Absolutely. Well, like I said, in case you're just joining us, we are taking this, and again, I understand, we understand that not everybody has access to the resources and the connections and the people that Bruce and I do, working in the film and entertainment industry. We understand that. The reason why Never Hike Alone looks as good as it does is because Vince works in the industry, is because he has access to this gear and equipment and people and connections and producers and writers and so it's that's the level we're talking about. And that is why, again, I will just do this one more time for people who maybe have just joined us. A couple of days ago, Bruce and I met with Greg Bennett, who's a professional director of photography working here in Toronto, and he has agreed to come on board for It's Me, Billy. And we could not be more thrilled to have Greg on. This is Greg here. Greg Bennett is an accomplished director of photography based out of Toronto, Canada. His work has been nominated twice for CSC, Canadian Society of Cinematographers Awards. His most recent narrative film work was for Night Hawk, a feature film directed by Canadian filmmaker Don Shabib. Greg has shot numerous shorts, features, commercials, and music videos, and is comfortable in a wide range of styles. Greg is excited to have joined the team, and we are absolutely thrilled to have him. And Greg is the real deal, folks. Greg is the real deal. He's works the highest level in the film industry here in Canada, and he is somebody that we are absolutely thrilled about. Like, we're talking professional DP, and we just can't be more thrilled. And he's just such a nice guy and so talented. His reel is great, and so we couldn't be more thrilled. And then, of course, the other announcement I made yesterday to get people excited leading up to our launch of the Indiegogo campaign, hopefully next month. Of course, that's the goal. Is I made the announcement of our lead actress, and there she is, Victoria Miro, graduated on the Dean's List in 2018 with a BFA honors degree at York University for the the Acting Conservatory program. She has several years of experience under her belt in a variety of short films, commercials, and theater. Victoria has signed on to play Sam, the granddaughter of Jess Bradford from the original Black Christmas. So we couldn't be more thrilled to have Victoria on board as well. So, we're moving. We're making moves, folks. We're making moves. Let me see here. Did I miss any super chats? I don't think I did. No, just the two that came in. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. Want to make sure I didn't miss any. Let me see here. Jason Meyer says, "Hey Dave, Bob Clark directed Porky's from the 80s. Your thoughts on it?" I love Porky's. Yes, he did. He also directed A Christmas Story. That's right. He directed Porky's, A Christmas Story, Black Christmas. Rest in peace, Bob Clark and his son. Because like I said, I think his son died in 2007. I think they both died in a car accident. So yeah, I haven't seen Porky's in a long time. That's a Canadian movie. But I got to watch that again. Like a long time, like probably since the mid-90s was the last time I saw that. Thank you for reminding me of that. I got to watch that again. But yeah, I remember liking it. It's fun, it's goofy and fun. Yeah, I remember it. Good movie. Die Hard Drummer 84 says, "Looks just like Olivia. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. She is, yeah, and extraordinarily talented." And it was. I would be lying if I said that a factor into choosing her was not that she resembled a little bit of a younger Olivia Hussey. That does play a factor. It is what we were searching for, but it was her talent that really sort of made the decision for us. She was talented, and the creative choices she made in her audition was what sort of ideally solidified that decision for us. And just talking to her on the phone, so passionate, so excited for the project. The energy is contagious. Like, these are the people you want to work with, because like I said, half the battle of success, folks, is surrounding yourself with the right people. It really is. And, to get Greg on board, to get Victoria on board, I'm going to be talking to another actress tonight, and I'll make that announcement later tonight, probably after 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, getting her on board because she sounds like she's just really excited for the project. That's who you want to be around. You want to be around that. You know what I mean? You want that contagious, infectious energy. That's right. Let me see here. Vanderhoff 66 FU says, "Did you meet with Victoria in person?" Oh, you mean Victoria in person? And then she read some of the script for the audition. No, this was these auditions were. It was a casting call that went out to actors, and these were self-submitted tapes. So what happens is that we received across the 5 roles. There's about 5 roles that we were looking to cast, and we received overwhelming interest in all the roles, and we received close to 400 submissions. Obviously, we don't have the time, or is it necessary for this project to see 400 people. So we had to narrow that down. Some people, we looked at their resumes, their demo reels, their portfolios, their photographs, obviously, because that plays a big role. Does this look like, does this actress look like a Sam, the kind of Sam that we're picturing in our minds? So we had to, compartmentalize all that and narrow it down for people that we're going to give a call back to, to shortlist. And then we shortlisted a bunch of those, and then we send, the call out to those we want to see auditions from, and they're self-taped auditions. We could have seen them in person. I mean, they're all local actors here in Toronto working in the industry. We could have rented out a space and held in-person auditions, but we felt comfortable enough, especially in this day and age, and especially the level of film it is. I mean, if we were shooting a feature film where there was more at stake and there was, more people and more, then maybe we would have done that. I've done that before. But with this, we thought, let's send them the sides, and a side is just a portion of the script that the actor is to audition. And then, especially today, I mean, everybody's got a phone, and, these young actors too. I mean, they're all dialed into social media and on their phones, right? So, we figured, self-taped audition. And that's what we did. And then we received them, and then we go through that process and make our decision from there. And then we narrow it down to even a smaller group of people, and then narrow it down. And Victoria was last woman standing. So she was great. She was very good. We kept coming back. There were others that were great. I mean, listen, she wasn't the only one. She wasn't the only one that could have been Sam. She was just the one we felt resonated with us the most because of the decisions that she made. And she has that little bit of that look that we were looking for, right? So that's why Victoria Miro is your Sam. Hopefully, if we can get the money, right? I mean, that's what it is. Right now, she's your Sam. She's your Sam in waiting. She's your Sam in waiting. Lauren Downing says, gotta go, peeps. If I'm not back before Dave finishes the show, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you McCrazies tomorrow. Take care, Lauren. Yeah, if we're not here, we'll definitely see you on tomorrow's show. By the way, tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I've got Cody Leach on the program. That's right. You know him, you love him, you may not love him, but hey, people don't love me either. There's a lot of people out there that think I'm just a big pile of... But hey, you can't please everybody, folks. You can't please everybody, and why the hell would you try? Why the hell would you try? What fun is it pleasing everybody? It's much more fun when people are not pleased. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Cody Leach will join me on the show. We'll be talking about him and sort of how he got started and this whole YouTube channel and all that kind of jazz. And yes, don't worry, we will be taking your questions about Halloween and horror as well. Oliver Mercer says, it's Dean Cundy's birthday today. Is it really? Wow, it's Dean Cundy's 74th birthday today. Ladies and gentlemen, happy 74th birthday to Dean Cundy, one of the greatest cinematographers of all time, a legendary... Look, you know, in the horror community, in the Halloween community, you know, when you say the name Dean Cundy, you instantly think of Halloween 2. But we sometimes forget that Dean Cundy was the director of photography. Was he the... Hang on a sec. I just want to make sure I don't mess this up. I know he was in the first one, but I want to make sure... one sec here. Dun, 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 dun. I want to make sure that I don't... Okay. Let me make sure here that he wasn't... I just want to make sure... Was he on all three? I think he was. Yes, he was. Oh, let me get part 3 in here. You guys know what I'm talking about already. He was. Okay, great. You know, we sometimes forget that Dean Cundy, somebody's probably already said it in here, maybe not. Okay, no. Was the director of photography on all 3 Back to the Future movies. You know, he was the director of photography on Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. He was the director of photography on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that classic film. He was the director of photography on Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks. He was the director of photography on The Fog and Escape from New York. I think it was director of photography on The Fog, right? I think so. Anyway, legendary cinematographer. I was so thrilled to meet him I guess a year and a half ago now at the 40th anniversary Halloween convention in Pasadena. I went up to him. I talked to him. He was someone, because, you know, in that environment, and again, I mean no disrespect, okay, when I say this. I mean no disrespect when I say this. I really don't, okay? Most of the people that are there, most of the actors and the celebrities, if you will. I hate that word, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Most of the celebrities that are there are most of them are most identified with Halloween. Right, that is the movie that is their claim to fame. That is it. It's Halloween. That doesn't mean they haven't done other things. Of course they have. They're working actors. Well, some of them are long retired now. They've gone on and done other things, sure. But really, Halloween it's where it's at, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's amazing. I mean, listen, I wouldn't. Great. That's totally cool. But when we talk about Dean Cundy, who's sitting there, having people come up to him, sign photos of Halloween, we sometimes forget that this is not just the director of photography on Halloween. This is one of the most legendary cinematographers in the history of cinema sitting there. You know, we forget Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, right? You know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, the list goes on. Where I just got to get some of his list here. Where is it? No. Dean Cundy. Okay, you know, we sometimes forget. Yeah, what do we got here? You know, Escape from New York, Halloween 2, The Thing, right? Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Psycho 2, one of the greatest sequels probably in horror history. Big Trouble in Little China, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, the Back to the Future trilogy, Hook, right? Jurassic Park, Casper, Apollo 13. My goodness. Let me see here. What else we got? Where else? I'm just trying to look at ones that are really sort of note. You know what I mean? I said Big Trouble in Little China? I think I did. Escape from New York, yes. The Fog. Okay, so he did do The Fog. Yeah, he did The Flintstones. That's funny. Flubber, The Parent Trap, What Women Want, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Garfield, The Holiday Whisper, The Spy Next Door, Jack and Jill. Ugh, that's an awful movie, but hey, he's a pro. I mean, he's the real deal. So it was an honor to meet him, not just because he's the director of photography on Halloween, but because he's a legendary cinematographer. You know what I mean? Like, just so cool. So cool. So happy birthday to Dean Cundy. Happy 74th birthday to Dean Cundy today, man. Amazing shit. Super chat comes in from Frank Riker. Dave, is there anything that would surprise you being invented, like teleportation, considering the tech we grew up with as Gen Xers? Oh man, teleportation. Well, yeah, I mean teleportation would be amazing. I think something that would be cool is like invisibility, like you know, that invisibility cloak that you see in Harry Potter. And I first saw that concept as a kid in about 1987, watching the movie Mio and the Land of Faraway. Do you guys remember Mio and the Land of Faraway? It's a Swedish film. It's a kid's movie. I believe it was released under the title Mio min Mio, which is its Swedish title. For its North American release, it was Mio and the Land of Faraway. It stars a very young Christian Bale. I don't know if it was before Empire of the Sun or after Empire of the Sun. The Spielberg film there, which was also released, I think, in 87, that had Christian Bale in it. Anyway, Christian Bale is not the main lead in Mio and the Land of Faraway, but he's the best friend of the kid that is. And there's a scene in that movie where they use an invisibility cloak. And this is like, you know, late 80s, I guess. It really cool. I was like, oh, that's so cool. That would be really cool technology. Scary technology. And I guess that's hot on the heels, of course, of the Invisible Man. Not that he's using an invisibility cloak per se, but that kind of stuff would be so creepy. Super chat comes in from Dead. Let me see if I get this right. Dead Aim Guncon. Dead Aim Guncon. Is it said all like that one? I'm probably butchering, buddy, but I really appreciate the super chat, man. Hey, Dave, are you much of a gamer? Have you ever played the Resident Evil or Silent Hill games? The older games had lots of mood and atmosphere. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. Really appreciate it. I would say that my gamer days are long over. I do have a PS4, and I like to play like NHL hockey or Grand Theft Auto. I really like to play because I like the open world concept that you can just go around and cause shit and just do whatever the fuck you want. And you can also play the missions as well. But I wouldn't say that I played one of the Resident Evil games years ago, like on the first Sony PlayStation or something like that. Or PlayStation 2, or I don't know. But I'm not a gamer. I'm not. I haven't been a gamer per se, probably since like the Nintendo days, like way back then. You know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't say that I am a gamer per se. But yeah, thanks for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. The Fog is a masterpiece. I love The Fog, man. I really do. Smith's Grove says Tom Atkins' character in The Fog was named Nick Castle. I thought that was a nice tip of that. Yep. Really cool stuff. I like that too. Really nice tip of the hat there. Aaron Click says, Dave, speaking of invisibility, have you seen The Invisible Man yet? It's great. No, I've not seen The Invisible Man yet. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. Hopefully soon. Let me see here. Geron the Man. Am I saying that right? 79, Dave McRae, 79, Dave. Do you write many scripts? I have ones that haven't come to fruition in terms of actually being shot, but I have a folder on my computer that has probably about 15 or 20 short scripts. And I have written one feature-length script, which is still in development. I'm constantly tweaking. It's been in development for like fucking literally probably like 20 years. It's based on true events from my second year of college. It's sort of a mystery, horror, thriller kind of thing. And it's if I only ever do one feature film in my life, that's the feature film I want to do. Because it's pretty fucking cool. He said, yes, you said it. You said that right. Awesome. Okay. Oh, wait. There we are. Awesome. I forgot. I've been on this camera view the entire time. Whatever. What the hell? Why change now? We'll take it to the finish in this view. Terrell Sims says, will you do a stream to raise money for It's Me, Billy? Thank you for the question, Terrell. Yes, we're definitely going to do that. Bruce and I are probably going to do a couple of It's Me, Billy-a-thons, and where we will do this kind of thing where it's me and him on camera, but we're only going to answer super chat questions. And maybe we'll have like a link up as well where you can kind of just donate. You know, it's a link that maybe you like a PayPal thing, maybe, or something like that, where you can donate that way too. Cause I don't know cause the super chats that come in, YouTube takes a percentage of it naturally. And I know PayPal takes a little bit of a percentage, but I'm not sure which is the less percentage of the two. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, we're definitely going to do that. And hopefully maybe, I don't know, if it goes really well, maybe we'll talk some, but it won't just be about It's Me, Billy. Like we'll take questions about Halloween and horror and all that kind of stuff. And It's Me, Billy as well. Whatever you guys want to talk about, right? But we'll be heavily promoting It's Me, Billy, and hopefully we can raise, I don't know, I mean, maybe a few $100. I don't know. I mean, maybe more. Maybe we'll raise a few thousand. I don't know. That would be amazing if we were able to do that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the goal. Is just to kind of do that a couple of times and put that all towards the campaign, man. So yeah, we're out there trying to get this going. All right, we'll go for a few more minutes. We'll take it to 12:45, and then I gotta skedaddle. Not only do I got to go and check and see if that thing is up in my PO box, I also have to eat as well because I am hungry. Oh wait, a couple of texts came in here. A text came in. Let me see. I got a text here. Yeah, and that. Okay, good. Good. Let me see. Did I miss any super chats? I don't think I did. Make sure. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any because I hate to have missed any. No, I didn't. Okay, good. Good. Let me see. Dirt Todd King says, your script sounds so interesting. I'm curious about what you experienced because you said it's based on, yeah, it is. Well, I can't say too much right now. But yeah, it's definitely really cool. Definitely. And that's a feature. Like that's like, I think the script's like 115 pages long or something like that. So that's definitely a feature. Lauren Downing says, I'm back. Had to get my birthday cupcake. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Lauren. Well, I'm assuming it's your birthday today. If it is, or if it's tomorrow or the weekend, whatever, happy birthday to Lauren Downing, folks. Hope you have a great day. My company celebrates monthly birthdays. Oh, wait, I guess I should have kept monthly. My company celebrates monthly birthdays on one day of the month. There was like 10 of us March babies. My B-day not for 2 more weeks. Well, there you go. I see. I should have kept reading, Lauren. I should have kept reading. But nonetheless, happy birthday. Lauren just had to dive in and get her birthday cupcake. Well, that's really cool that they do that. That's sweet. That's nice. That's nice that they do that. Good company that you work for there. Well, I mean, at least in the birthday area. Who knows what goes on, right, Lauren? Let me see here. Smith Grove says, Dave, favorite Tom Atkins movie? Probably The Fog. I mean, I'm partial to The Fog. He's a supporting role in that. He's more of a main role, of course, in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. But I like The Fog. I like The Fog a lot. I like Halloween 3, I do. I just always said that I think it's a little overrated because I think it's full of untapped potential. I think its subject matter and its content and its ideas were too big for the sandbox they were playing in. I would love to see a reimagining sort of remake of Season of the Witch today with a proper budget and really open that up, because I think the concept is great. I just think it's a little small feeling. Their ideas were too big, I think, in my opinion anyway. That's how I feel. Let me see. Everybody's saying happy B-Day, happy B-Day. Kevin Fishgall says, Dave, you're the bee's knees. I got some bees around the knees. Got the bees around the knees. I have no idea what the fuck that is. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me here on episode 29 of McRae Live. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank each and every one of you who sent in super chat supporting the channel that way. I really appreciate it, and asking questions, and also allowing me the opportunity at the beginning of the show to talk about It's Me, Billy. I'm going to be doing that a fair bit on this channel over the next little bit because we want to make this movie bad, folks. We really, really do. And the hype is real, and we're hiring the right people, the right team in place to make this a reality. But of course, like I said, we can't do it without you. So, but you will get all, I mean, if you follow me on Facebook, many things, Dave McRae. If you follow me on Twitter, at the VoiceMann with 2 N's, all the links are in the description. Follow me on Instagram as well. I post to the community section here on YouTube as well. You will definitely be getting the updates to It's Me, Billy, when we have them. There will be another update coming tonight in regards to another one of our actors. So I'm excited to drop that as well. And yeah, and then of course we will keep you in the loop and when that campaign gets launched. So and next week, I'm not sure what day yet, but like I said, next week, Bruce Dale, my buddy, my partner in crime, my filmmaking buddy, my best friend who I've known for 28 years, will be on the show next week, either Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. I don't know which day yet. Yeah, and it's going to be fun to get him on and talk It's Me, Billy, and really sort of dive into it from that perspective, answer your questions, and just continue to get the hype going. Continue to get the hype going. I'm all right. I just need a Valium. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cody Leach is on the show tomorrow. Make sure you tune into that. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you guys soon. All righty. Cheers.